All right, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Onto this life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Don't want any brothers be edified. That's why I find this very interesting. I'm gonna read some of this article and let's go with the spirit. Pope warns cancel culture is an ideologic colonialization. So the Pope warns this cancel culture is like colonialism, right? So I just, for the sake of just to do it, so just look up the word colonialism, which we all know what it is, but let's just look it up. It says the action or process of settling among established control over indigenous people of an area. So why would he use that terminology for cancel culture? All right, you not even the etymology, but you can see all the different definitions. It says the action of appropriating a place or domain from one's own use. All right, so we have some sort of idea, which we all know what colonialism is. What it means is just another nation taking over another nation. All right, but why would this Pope say something like that? So I'm gonna read some of this. So the Pope used his annual address to the Vatican diplomatic corps to raise concern about the rise of cancel culture. Now, let's go for another shits and giggles. Cancel culture, which we all know what that is. Cancel culture. Cancel culture, or called out culture, is a modern form of Austro racism. I should have done that. Austro-racism, in which someone is thrust out of a social or professional circles, whether it be online or social media or in person. Some public figures claim to have been canceled while continuing their careers as before. So there's something that we all know is modern. Cancel culture could be of anything, meaning like it's basically a form of silencing people and changing things for the greater, not for the greater good, for the greater worse. This is what Esau does. All right, this is exactly what Esau does. It's all about divide and conquer when he's about to take over. So we can really think about it as a form of someone that's coming to take over. All right, when you come and take over, first thing they do is what? Divide and conquer. So now you're seeing what's coming. Their new world order. It's all about divide and conquer. All right, this whole cancel culture from these, I believe it was, what is this? Alyssa. Damn, this girl from Who's the Boss? I think they said that she started it, and how they pretty much the Me Too movement, this whole dumb shit, and they use that to bring up old things about celebrities and so forth in order for them to lose money. So this is like a new form of thing. So his words is very it's very weird for him to use that, but it makes sense. It says that the Pope has condemned cancel culture for invading many circles and public institution, and warned that political correctness risks eroding all sense of identity and speech. In a speech to the Vatican base and diplomacy. I'll say, speaking on Monday, the head of the Catholic Church blasts one-track thinking in which involved in individuals express a mindset that rejects the natural foundation of humanity. This devil speaks in fourth tongue. This is the same devil that's changed many of things that the scripture says to fit I can't even say it, the idea of all these accepting things. We want people to accept everything. All right, this is exactly what this devil does. But now, I guess he's basically it's too much, and it's real pathetic. But this is how this devil does. He introduced the world to something, and since he introduced the world with this madness that he produced, once it's too much, he wants to pull back out of it. It says, in thinking which individuals express a mindset that rejects the naturally foundation of humanity, warning that this risks eroding the culturally roots that constitutes the identity of many people. The plaintiff then called cancel culture from ideologic colonialism that could damage freedom of expression. The religious leader also expressed concern that people who stripping away identity under the guise of defending diversity. And why did I say he speak in fourth tongue? Because that's what the devil does. This is the monster that they created. All right. Remember, all of last year was them throwing out old slave statues, or all these prominent white cracker devils that they put up on pedestals and to throw them out. So now that it's like they want to pull back some of the things that they're trying to do. This is all part of their new world order. This is divide and conquer all the way. It says diplomacy is called to be truly inclusive, not canceling, but cherishing the difference and sensibility that have historically marked various people, he added. While the Pope did not mention any specific examples of cancel culture, he did state that the historical events should not be denied. Rewriting and here's the point, rewriting or dedicating by today's standards. Rewriting what? Their history. This devil known for changing history. All right? That's all they do. That's what the whole point of the Renaissance was all about. It's them changing the history to make themselves look good. Wasn't that a form of cancel culture? They canceled somebody else's culture because they wanted to be involved. It's all about taking over. A hostile personnel is always going to go and demolish somebody else's stuff. Is natural. All right. A failed culture is not the incoming power would not. Well, they're not supposed to take the culture of somebody else that failed them, or especially if they worship another god. But this is the ongoing thing throughout history. All right. It's all about rewriting their history to make themselves look like they're the heroes. So yeah, they did it to a certain degree, and now they want to pull it back. All right. So this, something real quick. Let me get the scripture that I was thinking of when I saw this. It's like, yeah, where is? Wow, I thought I had everything lined up. Nope, not this one. Here's another form of cancel culture. Wow. Let's talk about another scripture too. First Maccabees 1, I believe it's 38. It says, I could start. You know what? Let me just get to the point. Let me get to the point. This whole chapter is bad. And this is another thing that the Vatican doesn't want people to know, the true history of Israel. Because this, matter of fact, let me start at 1 and 7. First Maccabees 1 verse 1, and it happened after Alexander the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, has smitten Darius of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, in the first over Greece. So basically he came in and he conquered the Persians. And the Persians were, at that particular time, were known as an unbeatable force, all right? I believe it had, 320 provinces, so 320 states, all right? It was well known as something not to be messed with. But Alexander rose to power, and he came and took over, all right? And made many wars and won many strongholds and slay the kings of the earth. And it says, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him, meaning nobody could have fight against him. All right. It says, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over the countries and nations and kings, whom became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been bought up with him from his youth, and part his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. So when Alexander the Greek came into power, when he was about to lose his power, he split his kingdom to his, I believe it was more than, I think it was 5 generals. It says 4, but it's really 5. Then one took out another, and they was fighting one another. All right. So the king reigned 12 years, and they died. And his servants bear rule over everyone in his place. And after his death, they put crowns upon themselves, so that they and their sons, after them many years, and evils will multiply in the earth. So it said, and they came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, the son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and reigned in 137 year of the kingdom of Greece. So Antiochus came from the Seleucus line. All right, but I'm going to jump down to the point. This is a very key point. I'm going to start at 36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and the evil adversary to Israel. Thus he shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, and so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the cities was made inhabitations of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. The sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbath into reproach, and honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. So what did Antiochus ultimately do? He ransacked and destroyed Israel, Jerusalem. Okay, even his fathers before him didn't do the things that he did. Okay, because when you do the history, Israel was always in between the battles between we call it I forgot the name of the word, but the king of the north versus the king of the south, and Israel was always in between these things. But when this damn devil came about, he really did a number on in Israel. But verse 4 and 1, this is the point. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote into his whole kingdom that they all shall be one people. And what is that? That was another form of a new world order. All right? To put aside their culture so that they become one. All right? This is an old, ancient practice that failed plenty of times. Nimrod tried to do it, failed. Nebuchadnezzar tried to do it, failed. Okay, Antiochus failed. Okay, and it says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. That's a form of cancel culture. All right, it's all about taking over somebody else's stuff. It says Isaiah 10. I'm sorry, 12. No, I'm gonna start at 13. No, let me start at 12. It says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, and the glory of his high looks. For he saith, by the strength of my hand have I done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, as one gathereth eggs that are left. I have gathered all the earth, and there was none that had moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. And that's the first thing that remind me of, because this is the same type of spirit. All right, and that spirit that Esau has. So Esau loved to go around colonialize things and take people's and steal people's land. This is his MO. All right, this is his MO. And it says, should an axe boast against itself? Should an axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the sword magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself, as if they were no wood. So the Lord is basically saying, without the tool is nothing without the person that's using it. So the same terminology today, they created something that now they want to complain about. All right, the same thing that happened last year, 2020, when they did this whole CIA ops in American soil, and they created this whole notion, and now they built the organization, BLM, to the point where the BLM members was before it was threatening the incoming mayor of New York City. So all these things basically is going to come back and bite them in the ass. All right. It says, therefore shall the Lord of hosts send among his fat ones leniency under his glory. He shall kindle a burning like burning of fire. All right. So the Lord is going to burn this place down. And this whole cancel culture is all is divide and conquer. All right, this is a form of divide and conquer. That's all it is. It's an ancient practice. And it is. I'm gonna end it off on this. Job 18:4. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? Shall the rock be removed out of his place? So he's tearing himself. All right. And the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be darkened. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. And what is that light? That light is his what he called himself, illuminated, or his knowledge, which his knowledge really is nothing. The Most High sparked his mind a little bit, and he took it to the next level. So they're using the power of Satan to do what they're doing. Power of witchcraft. because this is a very keen point. All right. It says the light shall be dark in his tabernacle. So the ideas that they come is going to be darkened. All right. Everything that this man is doing is going to turn back on him. It says his candle shall be put out with him. The step of his strength shall be straightened. And his own counsel shall cast him down. And it's causing great division amongst them. So the Lord is really putting a number on Esau. These are the days where Esau is his own, like how did he say it? Malcolm X. It said the rooster is coming. The rooster's coming home, or some sort. Matter of fact, real quick, because the precept I'm thinking of. Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the most. Matter of fact, let me start at 7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So what has this man been sowing? Confusion, corruption, wickedness. So what do you think he's going to receive? He's going to receive the same thing that he's been doing. All right? Because eventually the fire is going to be out of his control. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. And that's what he's doing. He's reaping his own corruption. All right? That's a form of the rooster's returning home. Whatever he have done in the past is coming back to bite him in the ass. It's interesting as it is, he used terminology as colonialism, right? Or colonialization. The same thing that they done onto Israel, coming and ripping and raping and robbing, stealing. They're using the same terminology of the stuff that they created. It's very interesting because this proves that everything is going to come back to this man. But let me go back to Job and I'm going to finish off with this. Job 18. Right, and 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and walketh upon the snare. So his own feet, he set his own trap. It's going to get to the point where it's out of his control. And once it's out of his control, that's when he's going to panic. We could clearly see what's going on today. Even with this madness that's going on, they're using all the possible ways to put fear in the minds of the people to eliminate themselves. But it's a good amount of resistance, but it's not enough. But soon it's going to be out of their control. So the point where they're going to be confused. All right. This man has set a trap for his own goddamn self. It says the jinn shall take him from the hill, and the robber shall prevail against him. So the Lord himself is going to come and destroy this man. He's going to wipe him out. All right. So this is something real quick I just saw. I find it interesting. I mean, there's more I could bring out, but I just want to keep this short. The devil himself is using this as something to bring the people together, saying it's too much. Oh, actually, there's a little bit more to this. It says, back in this, it says, the papal address comes just over a month after the Vatican Secretary of State condemned a statement from the European Commission that discouraged its staff from using the word Christmas. This is part of, it says, speaking to the Vatican News, Cardinal Pietro Parolin claimed that the directive goes against reality. by seeking to minimize European Christians' heritage, claiming it canceled our roots and ignored the Christian holidays and the region's Christian dimension. So, like I said, it's coming back and bite them in the ass, because this is the same terminology that controlled the minds of the people for centuries. Now people are thinking outside the box. When people start thinking outside the box, you lose control. And when you lose control, enough said. So this is, you gotta watch a couple things that these devils do. So it's not, like I said, it's not real quick. Shalom up to the elect in the nations of Shalom.